Welcome everyone to today's stream, day 43, and just another day of building the first API flight booking engine with the Nextjs frontend and so many other things like handling infrastructure as code using Terraform, using tools like Redis, having a caching system, having logging mechanism, working with external APIs like Amadeus, like Pesapal, like Flutterwave, and so many other things. So today I want to upgrade the booking model a little bit. I am going to go to the backend, then go to models, bookings.py. So the whole idea is this. Wait, where does this look empty? Is this the one? Or am I mistaken? Did I mess up something? Okay, that would be really sad. I want to improve something. Okay, and this is interesting. Why is this empty? Oh, it's right here. I think I was opening maybe a different file. For some reason I thought this file was empty. I was going to go crazy. So this is the idea. When we successfully have a user paying, I want this project to be able to track a user's entire booking response from Amadeus. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to track or store the entire flight order response as JSON. Okay, AI is giving me suggestion. Next thing I need to do, I need to add what I can call I call it another field rather? Yeah, it's actually a field, which would be the payment status. Okay, store the payment status. After that, I need to also take note of store the flight ticket. Okay, so the three. Okay, so that in the front end, when someone pays, we check this field. Okay, if there is a ticket, then we show a download button. Okay, if there's no ticket, we just tell them thank you for paying, ticket is being processed, and the admin would have to now go to an IATA certified company and make sure that they pay for the ticket. Okay, if later, okay, this company gets IATA certified, there'll be no need for them to go to another company to pay for the ticket. But for now, the admin will go to an IATA company, give them some small service fee, okay, maybe $2, $1, issue the ticket, and then upload it for the user. As soon as it has been uploaded for the user will be able to see a download button where they can download their ticket. And also, when the admin has successfully uploaded the ticket for the user or the person who is trying to book will get an email telling them that the ticket is ready, and they can either view it in their email or download it from their email, add it to their Google Drive, or download it from the same application. So these are important three fields that I want to use to upgrade the model. And you'll see how it's going to make sense in the front end. Okay, so that in the front end, the status I'll want to show will be this status. Okay, I want to show this status. Okay, on the front end. Okay, and the payment status, okay, will of course will change to paid, or rather. Now, let's move on. Let's move on. I want to come here, okay, and I'll say, okay, you see, so AI is trying to give an idea, okay. A good suggestion, say flight underscore order underscore response, okay. This one is it, how would you, okay, JSON is a string, okay. JSON is a string, to be fair, but I need to find out how to represent it the correct way, okay. So I'll leave this as this. Next up, we need to know the payment underscore status, okay. Then I'll say this will also be a string, okay. And for this one, I can go with the suggestion. It is actually very clear. This one, I'll say field, okay. Remember what we use a field for. A field is used, remember field is imported from SQL model, and field is used to give extra metadata. And in this case, we want to put metadata to validate this payment status field. I'll say nullable equals to false, okay. It cannot be false. Next up, we can say default is equals to unpaid, okay, unpaid. What else do we need to do? Okay, then the flight ticket, okay, the flight ticket. So I'll say ticket URL, ticket underscore URL, okay, will be, yeah, optional string. So I'll say str or none, like this, and I'll say equals to field, okay, default equals to null, okay, default equals to none, and nullable equals to true, okay. So yeah, that is it. So for this one here, I'm thinking about how to represent it, okay. I'll say nullable equals to, for booking, I think it can be null, okay, nullable equals to true. So it can be true, because I'm trying to think of the case. When do we populate this booking information? We populate it when we are creating a flight, I think, a flight order. So I'll go to flight orders. Where is this? Models, routers, flights.py, control F, I want to say booking dot, okay. So I think this is where we booking, because booking.id, flight order, booking flight order, because booking.flight order. Okay, this is what I was looking for, okay. We use this. How many times do we use this? If I search here and I put a parenthesis C and a B strict, okay, we have only one place that we are using the booking model, which is when creating a flight order. So when I'm creating a flight order, I can ensure that I actually, after passing the user ID and passing the flight order ID, okay, so I can remove this flight. Okay, I can leave the flight order ID. I can leave it there for convenience, but I leave the flight order response, okay. Maybe I can call it Amadeus response, something like that, okay. Amadeus order response. So it will have to be passed right here, okay. So okay, this looks good. I want to find out how to create a JSONable field. Let me see JSONable. If I Google JSONable field in SQL model, Okay. It should exist at least in one way or the other. So if I'm to check, so see, it says, okay, let me see. There's an example here by AI. Says data dict field says SA column equals to column JSON. Okay, let me open this in Stack Overflow. Let us see what the documentation says. No, this is, I think, response model. I'm not sure if it, let me see if this page, search it quickly. No, this does not have what I want. Let's see this before we go to AI. This also looks, you seen this? Okay, since we have seen it, so we have to use this SA column equals to column. So I can come here to one of my favorite tools of recent, create a new session and say change into a field to store JSON. Let's see. How it performs. Okay. So you see it has opened from SQL Alchemy, column and JSON have been imported. Then you see that Amadeus response. Okay, the annotation has been changed to a dict or none. And now field as default equals to none, SA column equals to column JSON. Yeah, I guess this is what I was actually looking for. So you check Python file for syntax errors and to skip this. You can't really know what the tool is trying to do. Okay, looks like it wants to now apply to do the Alembic. Okay, fair enough. Says cd into backend and Alembic revision auto generate -m change Amadeus. This wouldn't be maybe a representative name. I would say add payment status. Add payment status ticket URL and Amadeus order response allow. I wonder how it would do this. Okay, actually we get the command not found, which is okay. So source bin it tries to activate the virtual environment. Okay, let's say accept and we see no such directory backend. Okay, it's trying to figure out. Let me try to give it time and see. The best way actually would be to do it via Docker Compose. Okay, let's just see what is here. No, in this other terminal. Say could not translate hostname DB. Okay, this is okay. It could not translate the hostname DB to address because the actual server is not accessible right now. So I would need to run the backend, okay? And you can see it says the Amadeus order response in bookings has been updated to JSON data. The type is now this, and it uses SQL Alchemist JSON column type for proper database storage, okay? Then it goes on to say, note that this is a schema change. So you'll need to generate and apply an Alembic migration to update the database. You can do this by starting the database via Docker compose app minus ddb in the backend directory, and then running Alembic revision auto generate minus m change Amadeus response to this, followed by Alembic upgrade head. So yeah, I was expecting AI to fail to figure it out, but yeah, it looks like Grok code seems smart. So let's do it ourselves, okay? So I'll start by saying docker compose app. Says no configuration found. No problem. No problem. We can start all over. Come here, click. Wait for it to activate the virtual environment. There we are. Give it one more shot. Docker compose app. Wait, where's the why does it say that? Oh, I need to navigate into the backend directory. This name of the virtual environment was misleading me. I thought it was the backend directory, but we're in Airbound Ventures. I'm supposed to do cd into backend. Okay. Then I can now say docker compose app. And there we are. Okay. Since now the app is running, I can now go to another field. Okay. And now say Alembic. I want to reduce this so that I can type in one. I want to cd into backend first of all. Clear my screen and say Alembic. Okay. Revision. Can I spell revision well? Like that. Okay. Minus auto generate. If you don't know what Alembic is, I took some time trying to study the basics of it in the past 3 or 4 streams. So yeah, Alembic revision auto generate minus m. I'll say add payment status, add ticket URL, and Amadeus order response fields. Is that it? Hit enter. Okay, I need to maybe do this via Docker. So I want to do this, okay? I'm going to go to the beginning of this command and say docker exec minus it. What's the name of the app? It's called the Fast API app, okay? Fast API app, Fast API dash app. Come on, API dash app, like that. Docker exec, it must be minus, I think minus it, minus it, Fast API app, Alembic revision, auto generate, minus m, add payment status, ticket URL, and Amadeus response fields. Hit enter. Unknown flag minus it. Okay, looks like I'm forgetting. So is it only one minus? Well, looks like I have to go through the command like this manually. I think one. says Docker says exec failed, unable to start container process exec executable file not found. Okay. Actually, I'll say Alembic SQL is installed via UV. Okay. So if I do this on this command, I need to modify it by adding UV. Say UV run. Okay. Say UV run Alembic that. Okay. It worked. Okay. Sometimes you need to be a little bit patient. Okay. So if you look at the bottom here, okay, it says done. Okay. Done. It's done doing what we expected, but I want to show you the actual command. So it is docker, okay, exec -it, meaning attach a terminal and make it interactive. Then fast API app is the name of the container. Then we now say, because our container, okay, this our fast API application is being managed by, we're using UV to manage the dependencies of this application. So we say UV run, then the package name, which is Alembic. And with Alembic, we now create a new revision. Okay. If you're coming from Django, creating a revision is like creating a new migration file. And if you've not watched the past 3-4 live streams on how I was studying Alembic, please do. This will make sense. Okay. Then we say auto generate. Okay. -m. We add the comma a message. Okay. And that is it. So I want to open. I don't know where it has created those revisions. Okay. I was expecting to see something like a file or something. Okay. So I don't know whether it created them in the container and not because using these versions, okay, I was expecting to see a file right here. Okay. But I can't seem to see it, which is okay. So let me do this. I think it has created it in the container. Let me try to create it outside the container. And I see, because with Docker, we're executing inside the container. So let me remove all this. Remove all this, and say UV run and see what happens. Okay. Yeah, it gets the issue of the host name not found. No problem. Fair enough. Okay. I get it. Because the database is actually running in the container. No problem. So next up, what we need to do is to now say Alembic upgrade head. Okay. Because head has now what we have currently. So I can now clear and I get this previous command, delete all this completely. No, not this one. I want the one with Docker. This one. Delete everything and say Alembic. Okay. Alembic upgrade head. Okay. So looks like the number of errors. Okay. Say constraint booking user on table booking depends on user in DB. Hint use drop to drop the dependent objects to. Okay. Drop table user in DB says background on this error. Okay. So if you scroll up, you see there's actually an issue. Okay. No problem. Okay. I'll need to revise more on Alembic to be able to understand how to do this. Okay. And maybe understand how the whole SQL alchemy thing works. Yeah. To be able to resolve this. Right now the mind is quite tired. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So look at this. Dependent object still exists, cannot drop table user in DB because other objects depend on it. Now that is actually smart for a database to do. You don't want a database to delete something that other objects are depending on. But again, saying use drop cascade to, if I drop these dependent objects, okay, the question is, what do I risk losing? Okay, what do I risk losing? Okay, that's the main concern. Okay, so I am going to leave it for now. Okay, and focus on a few things which I want to touch on today. The first thing I want to touch on, okay, now that we have our models, I'm going to study more about this error, okay? And if I'm able to fix it, I'll either do it in live stream or show you, okay? And of course, like always, I push the code to GitHub. So let's go here, down here. One thing I want to do is populate this Amadeus order response in flights right here. When we are now creating an instance of the booking here, okay? Let me remove this. Right up here, we get a response from Amadeus. If we go to this create flight order, okay, and you see what we get, okay, we get actually the JSON response. So what I want is that when we are creating a booking at this level, okay, we pass another field, okay, which is the Amadeus order response. So I come here to flights, I can do this, put this on another line, put this one on another line, put this on another line. So then AI is becoming already smart, okay? They can say Amadeus order response is equals to the response. What is this response? It is coming from right here, okay? This is the one. So I want the entire response to be saved just for tracking purposes, okay? In case maybe something gets wrong and I'm telling Amadeus, you know what, our user made an order successfully, but your API is doing ABCD. It is there. I am able to provide proof in case they say no, we're not seeing that kind of thing on our end. Okay, this is very good. Then what else do I need to change? Maybe payment status can also be updated. I really want this to be updated. For now, it is unpaid. But now, when I go to there's that function that we're using for payments. So I hope this makes sense to you. Who is that function? There's a function, was it in payments? Not a function, but a path operation. Okay. Calling it a path operation is a better word. So you see, we have the initiate PayPal payment. We have the PayPal callback. Okay. That was doing a number of things. Okay. Getting the transaction status. Okay. Let me minimize this try catch. Okay. It fetches the booking. And then it gets the number of status codes. Okay. For example, updating the booking status to paid. Let's go to this function called update booking status. Okay. You see, it actually, okay, if you look at this status, okay, it changes it to paid according to the value that comes from here. Okay. No, where are we? Remove this. See, changes it to paid. Okay. So if I go here, where is it? Here. Okay. No, I'm looking for this function. So I'll hover over it, press command or control if you're on keyboard, then click. So you see, it updates according to the status. So here, the status is equals to paid, but I want to change it to something else. Okay. I want the booking status. Okay. When you go to a booking, I want the status, okay, to be changed to maybe, can I say confirmed? Okay. Confirmed or paid. I'm thinking about whether to keep this payment status field, okay, or use status field as the general, okay. That when you create a booking, maybe for the first time, when you create a flight order, okay, I want to call it maybe pending. When you pay, no, I want to say, I want maybe, help me out. What do you think? When you create a flight order, this maybe by default, it should be maybe confirmed. When you create a flight order, you've confirmed your flight, okay? Then when you pay, this status changes to paid. When you cancel, we use cancelled. Something out loud. Or should I leave pending confirmed? Because ideally in the current flow, there is no path operation, okay? That changes that booking status to maybe to pending or something. By default, okay, when you're creating a booking like this, okay, it has that pending order on it. When you pay, let's go to payments, okay, you see we change it to paid. So I'm thinking, since we are updating it to paid here, okay, and in flights, okay, by default, it will be, what is it, pending. When you confirm an order, I want it to be confirmed, okay. So where is bookings, crew.py is bookings. Yes, I want this to be by default to confirmed, okay, like this. So this comment I'll say status could be either confirmed, okay, or paid, okay, like that, paid or cancelled. So that you either confirmed a booking, you've paid for this booking, or you've cancelled. Then here, okay, that would mean I'll remove this payment status. Okay. Leslie, you're saying logically speaking, it will confuse other devs. To be more precise, like pending underscore payment. Do you mean, what do you mean, Leslie? Is it for the payment status or for status field? And this time when I was setting the stream, I left the latest, I think, to normal. I should have put it to probably medium so that I can quickly see what you type in the chat. So I'll see what you type in the chat after like about maybe 20 seconds or 30 seconds. That was before you made the changes. Pending is now good. All right. All right. I'll go ahead with this. No problem. So yeah, confirmed is when you're into this endpoint, okay, for the flight order. Then just to go over it again, okay, you confirm a flight when you've come into creating the order. There is by default confirmed. Then when you use this endpoint, we change it to, what is it, payments. We change it to paid, okay? But I want to probably stop using this kind of like strings, okay? This paid, where this booking, not this confirmed, okay? Later, I think I'll update it to use things like, what do they call them? Is it enums or just plain constants, okay? Number constants. So cancelled. So you can either have a confirmed flight, a confirmed booking, a paid booking, or cancelled booking. So you see that the callback here, okay, specified callback is changing the status to paid, okay. Then when you fail, okay, when you fail here, okay, I also want to update the status. So I'll copy this function here. Go update booking status, copy it, and come down here. Okay, and decide change it to failed, just like AI is suggesting. Then, wow, so it's an interesting scenario here. And look at what AI is suggesting. Let's say saying enums in Java for us exactly constants. Yeah, I think actually even Python has enums actually. So this adds an interesting scenario that a payment has been reversed. So if this is okay, let me accept it. Okay, if this is reversed, guys, think about this quickly. Okay, if this model, okay, if the booking status is reversed, what are we talking about? Are we now referring to the, and Leslie can help me out here, are we referring to the booking status or payment status? Or it's the same thing? So if it's reversed in this case, that would mean the booking has also been reversed, or only the payment has been reversed. Okay, it's kind of interesting. Okay, reverse could mean a lot in this case. Okay, let me just say reversed. Okay, and reversed. I guess later I can refactor all this. Then there's also failed. So failed. I think that is it. So then here could invalid say pending, unknown. Interesting. So if it's an unknown, do we update the booking status? This is when I think it becomes pending. Okay. So maybe pending by default should stay. Who knows? So let me copy this. One thing I've learned is not to get too attached to code. Okay. Code can always be removed. Okay. Can break it, change it anyhow. So pending. Copy this. Yeah, I think I'm done with this function. So this is for the callback. Then also the IPN needs something. Okay. Think of an IPN as a webhook. Wow. Look at this print statement. Crazy. Need to remove it. It says that would be booking. It would mean the client has requested a refund. My thoughts. Oh, by the way, yeah. That would actually mean that, yeah, that you have requested a refund. And that reminds me, I need to implement an endpoint for creating refunds. So let's see this. So here, okay, see, we have the status being changed to paid. Okay. Then you're saying if payment status in 2 or 3, we're saying failed or reversed, but this is not comprehensive. I feel like it should be like this other one up here. Okay. That if the code is 2, then it is failed. Okay. So you know that Zen or Python statement that explicit should be better than implicit. Let's say cancel payment should probably have scenarios like the payment gateway returned an error or client manually canceled the payment. Yeah, that's correct. And I guess cancel should be, for example, like here, okay? In this case, okay? The payment can be, so this field, keeping its status, keeping it as status is very tricky, okay? Because remember what we're updating is this field, okay? So let me first remove this one. Let me remove this one called payment status to avoid confusion, okay? I'll update it later. So let's come back here. I want to make a few updates. Sometimes I think just because maybe I'm not even thinking straight up the long day, but let me try to get this done, at least for the backend. So here I can now go ahead, I can copy all this, remove this, okay? I'll say if payment status code is equals to 2, okay? Since the other function has completed, okay, this is failed. So this is okay. So you can copy all this and paste it down here. So else if payment status is equals to 3, okay? Yes, reversed. Thank you, AI. What else do we have up here? Then else, okay. Else maybe I'll just say pending, okay? In the same way. I know what you guys think. Please feel free to advise. Else, these are things that can always be, I can always break the code, okay? Copy this. This should be failed, okay? Then here, this can remain pending, okay? I think this makes sense. Then some of these comments are not necessary. Then here, in case of an error, what does the status of remain? Okay, so you see right here, the booking status. That's why I keep thinking, if I keep on updating this status field, what are we updating? Are we updating the, what does it mean I'm updating the payment status or the booking status? But anyway, I'll think about this later. So here I can say cancelled, okay? But I need to use what they call the enums, okay? I can copy all this, okay? And say refactor the status fields into either constants or enum for maintenance, something like that. I'm starting to think of changing when I should be live streaming, because these streams get me when I'm so tired on some days, especially like today. Wow, says I have exceeded my maximum limit. We have automatically switched you to GPT 4.1. Wow, I'm not paying these guys more money, guys. I've paid enough. Okay, here's the enum. Booking status, that, confirmed, paid, cancelled, reversed, failed, pending. Okay, this is okay. I won't complain. Okay, I won't complain. This is better actually. What I can do is accept it. Okay, then I can just probably cut it out. Okay, and leave it right here. Put it outside for now. In case I need to put it in a global area, that's when I can put this booking status later. Let me just leave it there for now. So you're saying status, booking status, default is booking status dot confirmed. Okay, that's okay. Actually, I've realized something. This default factor equals datetime.now is UTC now is not correct. Okay, so I can command I say use time zone now. Isn't it crazy that for something simple like this, I guess I would have just imported time zone and used time zone now. Okay, let me accept. Okay. Says Django.utils could not be resolved from source. What environment am I using? Select Python interpreter. Where is this one? Backend. Wow, look at it. I've realized the bug. Django dot. Wow, this is not a Django project. This thing is crazy. And I hadn't actually realized it. I didn't realize it. Okay. Let me hover. Usually when you hover, you get the correct thing. Okay. They say the method UTC now is the method UTC in class datetime is deprecated. Use time zone aware objects to represent datetimes in UTC, e.g. calling .now datetime.timezone.utc. Okay. So I can say datetime.timezone. What is it doing? But this has been deprecated. Not now. But I don't think I can pass a function. Okay, here it would fail. It's okay. Let me just spend time on this. I'll figure out this. Okay, let me focus on the enum for now. Sometimes I tend to deviate away from the main thing. So when I go back to flights, okay, not to payments actually, okay, where you're seeing the status, okay, let me start from up, from the callback, okay, right from here. I can now change this one to booking. I need to import this booking model. So this is going to give me autocomplete. Let us see if it will import booking status. Where's it imported it from? Okay, confirmed, that's correct. So this will be booking status paid. Okay, this now looks like somehow better code. This comment is unnecessary. I'll remove it. Next, failed. Okay, this will be booking status failed. Okay, better. Come back here. This will be booking status reversed. Yes, this now looks better. Then here, I'll remove this. I'll say booking status pending. Okay. Then here, I can say update booking to booking status cancelled. Clean. That's now better code. So from time to time, I'll keep improving. Then when I go down to this is the other one right here. This has to be booking status paid. This one booking status failed. Thank you, AI. Booking status reversed. Okay. Yeah, this is how coding with AI should be. Then here should be, yes, booking status pending. Then finally here, booking status cancelled. Nice. Okay. All this needs to be probably reformatted. Okay, what does this one here? Does this one have anything to do with statuses? Let me see. No, it has nothing. So when I get back to flight order, okay, after passing the Amadeus response, I feel like I need to be explicit about the booking status. Okay, and to avoid, okay, it's good to have a default value, but sometimes you have to be can I say explicit? But let me leave it. Okay, so I can remove this comment. No need. So for now we are storing the entire Amadeus order response right here, and by default the booking would be, the status would be confirmed, and I've changed all the areas, okay, in these functions, the PesaPal IPN and the payment callback appropriately, okay, to change the statuses correctly. Then what else have we added? We added the ticket URL. So the ticket URL will come at a point where I now want to, what can I call it? I want to upload, okay, when the admin now wants to upload, okay, the ticket. This will be the endpoint. They will be changing, okay. So the next work to be done, okay, I want to show you. Let me cd into frontend. Leslie says the user has selected the flight, the seat is reversed, and the 15-minute timer has started, okay, that is pending. The user has selected the flight, the seat is reserved. When you select, I wanted to do it like Fly Emirates. When you select a flight, you have what do I call it? You have already paid, okay? You can only select a flight, select a seat, okay, when you have paid. Okay. Awaiting payment optional. The user has actually opened the payment model. Okay, yes, that actually makes sense. The only caveat with that, what I've not done is that I don't create a booking when you've opened the, actually I think by the time the payment model is opened, okay, the booking was already created. So I can send the request to the backend, okay, to change the status to awaiting payment. But yeah, like you're saying, it's optional. I may not need to do that just to avoid an extra API call. Confirmed payment webhook is received successfully. The ticket is issued. Okay. Yeah, so the issue is that when payment is done, the ticket is not issued successfully. The ticket is issued after some time, because then the admin has to see on their dashboard that so and so has paid for a booking. Then they go to an IATA company to issue the ticket, then come and upload it. Expired, the 15-minute timer ran out before the payment was received. In background control should check for these two rows and release the inventory +1. Interesting. So lesson about that is that controlling the 15 minutes would be tricky. Why? Because the payment gateway itself handles certain things, okay? Like when someone closes the model, like when the internet goes off, like when maybe the transaction is successful, but for some reason, okay, maybe somewhere in the ISP there's a delay and the payment gateway gets to confirm the flight, they mean the payment after maybe a day, okay? So if a payment be successful, sometimes it can last from 5 minutes to 24 hours and beyond. So the 15-minute timer handling expire would be challenging. So I'm just leaving it to the payment gateway to tell me that a payment has either succeeded, is pending, or has failed. Okay, next one, you're saying payment failed. The gateway returned a declined or insufficient funds error. You might keep the seat held to let them try a different card or delete it immediately. Okay, I think actually we've done this to a certain extent, but this would actually work. It's going to work when I do seat management. Cancelled, says the user manually canceled the booking. Post payment triggers refund logic. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that is also that's a very important thing I need to add, where someone can cancel a booking. Okay. When they cancel a booking, their money is supposed to be refunded. Then the other one is refunded, where the money has been refunded back to the user. That now brings a question, Leslie. Okay. Are we talking about the booking status or payment status? Okay. Because you cannot say a booking has been refunded. Okay. But we can say the payment has been refunded. Anyway, I think it makes sense. What is confusing me, I think, is just the name of this field, naming this, okay? Because this can either be status or simply payment status. Or we can have two fields, status and payment status, both of them. But of course, status will not have things like booking status, what you're referring to. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm going to add a number here. I appreciate your contribution. So we have cancelled. I'll say refunded. We have to add refunded because refunded. I have to add failed. We have it. Confirmed is there. Pending is there. Awaiting payment. The user has actually opened the payment model. I'll leave it. Okay. And I'm glad that you said that it's actually what? Optional. I'll leave that one. So pending, we have pending. We have confirmed. We have failed. We have cancelled. We have refunded. Okay. And the only difference is that I have here reversed, and for you have expired. Yeah. So for expired, that would the 15-minute window, okay, would be quite challenging. Yeah. So I'm quite tired, I guess. Thank you, Leslie. Really appreciate. I need to go and just take a break and rest. So I'm gonna implement those. Go ahead and figure out the migration. Then after that, I would do the UI changes. They're not even that hard, okay? So that in the next stream, I can show you something or even move on to something else. So I appreciate the effort and yeah, encourage everybody to continue learning live. I've discovered now most people actually prefer now watching now after the stream, what you would call a recording. But either way, I appreciate. Share this with friends in your network so we all learn together. I'm working on a few videos that I really like. You'll see them soon. Bye for now and catch you in the next stream.